All right. Right, exactly.
She held it over my head like the rest of the episode. She was like, he's in it. And I'm like...
Because you were gaslighting me and I didn't appreciate it. No, I'm just playing.
I skimmed the episode, okay?
All right. We are live. Let me get the other thing up. Boop, boop, boo. I'm excited. We have a couple of special announcements, and I debuted them in our episode last night. Actually, let me... Ooh, look at that. Okay.
Oh, is that live already?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I need to post that.
Yeah, I'm about to put it out there. Boop, boop, boo. And a link. You're seeing all the behind the scenes nonsense that happens during setup. It's all very exciting and nerdy. PGD. There we go. 206. Frenemy. Teen Wolf. Live cast. All right. Let's do this. Let me grab some water. Say something entertaining, Philip.
What else? Something entertaining. Texas. Oh, so I was driving around a gas station. Well, that's not entertaining. But anyway. No, that's not entertaining. That's totally going to bring the mood down. I was like, and I already told this story on this podcast, so who cares?
I will say that the consensus has been that Charmed was not terrible.
So. Oh, yes. Okay, so there were a lot... I'm on the middle camp because I'm an original Charmed fan. So there were some things that I was led to believe about this show that were not necessarily true, but it was still good in its own way, and it's charmed, and it's witches. So I'm giving it a chance. Which, by the way, everybody, tonight, All American is playing on the CW. Cody Christian and Samantha Logan from Teen Wolf are on that show as supporting mains. So go check it out. It's at 8 Eastern, 9 Central. DVR it if we run late. No, I am. So that has been fun.
Yeah, I love Samantha Logan.
Yes, BBS, watch it. BBS is giving me crap about that show.
Oh my god.
We're going to check it out. It looks very diverse, so I'm really excited
that's entertaining.
about that.
I was actually tweeting, and I tagged someone, and BBS was being messy. And I'm like, not on a tag post, BBS.
So, also, I don't know if you guys have heard about this little show called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Has it started?
Not yet.
Okay, Kiernan Shipka. As soon as I heard it was her, I was like, okay, I like this.
I am in it to win it. I am so excited for this show, you guys.
Who's in it?
Kiernan Shipka. She played the daughter on Mad Men. She played the daughter on Mad Men. Kiernan Shipka did, and she's going to be the lead.
And what's his name from Disney?
Is playing Harvey?
Ross Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know who Ross Lynch is, though.
I was a little bit weird about the casting, but we'll see how it turns out. It's Netflix, so...
Yeah,
sounds like a millennial.
From the trailer, from the teasers, I am so excited for the show. I think it's going to be incredible.
Like super cute or like incredible in what way?
No, it's scary.
Oh,
it's
really?
Scary. Yes, it's a horror, and it takes place in the same universe as Riverdale. So, because Greendale...
Well, and Sabrina did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm so super excited for it. It's like a horror theme.
But it's a drama.
It's like a supernatural drama. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be fun. It seems like it's gonna have some really messy moments, and I'm really excited for it. So
they need to just stop playing and make Riverdale supernatural. Like, just throw a werewolf in. No one will care, and everyone will love it.
There was some kind of occult ritual going on at the end of last week's episode, because I caught it right before All American. And so I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, something weird and way off is going on Riverdale. So I think I need to catch up.
But that's literally every season. And I do that every season where I'll catch a glimpse and be like, do I need to start watching Riverdale again? And then I'm like, no, I do not.
Well, it's not like last season where it was that, what was that thing called? Janky or what?
Oh my gosh.
Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jingle. That was
funny.
ugly. That was
yes, I am watching American Horror Story Apocalypse. It has been amazing so far, but I think the way they structured the show could have gone a little bit differently. There's a lot of flashbacks in the middle when they really should have been towards the beginning.
Cole asked a
That might
very
have caught
important
everyone up a little bit
question
more, but we'll see.
Oh, there's Bucky. Okay. Now, Goddess. Oh, did you see John giving you crap in the thread, Philip?
Yes, I sent him a link personally.
Yes!
So, I used to have like a fandom counterpart who is now like my bestie here, and I told him he can come listen in. He wants to see what we're doing.
Right. Okay. I think we are ready to go. Welcome everyone to Beacon Hills After Dark. I, of course, am StickyKeys. Hey, hail to Stalinsky. Hey, Fire for Heart. Hey, Tay. Hey, Bast. And the rest coming in are special BBS. Hello. And to Tori Marie. Guy is going to try to make it. And we have some other people that are going to be filing in slowly but surely. To my right is our involuntary permanent co-host. He left a life of DDR to come tonight and talk to us about this episode. Say hi, Ethan.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I was getting my sweat on, and Sticky called, so I had to answer.
Yay! That's all I ask, you know? Hi, RR Hoodling. Good to see you, boo. To his right, left, whichever direction. Involuntary permanent engineer, Philip. Say hi, Philip.
Hey, everybody.
Yay! Amanda couldn't make it tonight. She was having some interneting issues. So filling in for her, naturally, is back again. He enjoyed it so much the first time, and I begged him so much for a second time, is Mr. Michael Fjordbak. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yep, you got it.
That's what it's all about. Very excited. So glad to have you.
So glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Good to see you all again.
Oh, wonderful. Well, as we said, so we watch a few minutes of the episode, and then we're going to stop and we're going to talk about kind of what we saw. So if you have any notes, jot them down, and then when we pause, we'll talk about it. So it's all very exciting. And, we had a very long and in-depth discussion about your bangs the first time they popped up on screen, and I have lots of questions. So we're going to revisit that once we see them in here. And really my only question is, why don't you still rock that look, Michael? Where are the bangs? Where have the bangs gone?
I will tell you.
There we go. Oh, right. Let's do this thing. Give me the remote. Here. Is it going to let me take it? Did you see my request? Oh, yay! Oh my goodness, on the first try. So we are at 206 Frenemy. A whopping 41 minutes. Do we know writer, director of this, Philip?
We could.
We're so well prepared.
Right?
Always.
That's how we do, son. All right, first we'll do the previously on.
previously on Teen Wolf. What the hell is a Canema? Do they think it's Lydia? How do we know it's not her? She was bitten by an alpha. It's her. I think you had channeled it into killing her. You cannot do this. I can't let her live.
We've got to figure out a way to protect her. They're not here to scare us. They're here to kill Lydia.
I can hold you off until the cops get here.
I think I'm finally getting why you keep refusing me, Scott. You're not an Omega. You're already an Alpha of your own pack.
Where's Jackson?
All right, we are at 042. Now, are we to assume that, is that the first time that Jackson and what we find out is Matt hook up, or have they been... I can't remember the origin story. I know he got scratched, but when did him and Matt actually hook up?
They had to have hooked up before this because the mechanic has already been killed.
That's right. Well, do we find out that because the mechanic was on lacrosse?
He was on this lacrosse team, but it turned out to be the swim team that turned out to have almost drowned / killed / we never really find out.
They did Matt so dirty, and I'm kind of here for it. Poor Matt.
I saw him. He's actually in Texas right now working on something that we're not supposed to know about or something like that.
Oh, fun. Okay. I might have to... I gave him a holler like a few years ago. And he... we used to follow each other. But then he went on a hiatus from Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah, he's doing a lot on Twitch right now, actually.
Really? Oh. Ugh. Is Ryan still doing stuff on Twitch? Ryan Kelly?
I have not heard from Ryan at all on social media, except for that he had a couple of those videos with Ian and some other cast members.
Mm-hmm. For the convention, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good times. All right. There we go.
Are all of our
anyway.
guests, by the way, domestic to the U.S.?
Huh?
Not really.
No.
Is what? What happened?
I'm asking is everybody who's from the Patreon chiming in with us today in the States?
Yes and no. Guy is from Argentina, and that's fun. We have people from just a little bit of everywhere, so we get a lot of, it's 6 a.m. right now.
Yeah.
BBS and Tori Marie are both from the States. And, we'll find out some other countries. But, yeah, get a nice little reach. No, that's Raving Fire for a Heart, and that is later, I believe. So.
Okay, so Frenemy was directed by, is that Russell Mulcahy?
Oh, is it Russell?
And then written by Jeff Davis.
It's a mid-season.
Original air date was July 2nd of 2012.
Oh my god.
1.65 million viewers pegged for that watch.
I don't even remember 2012. The only way I remember stuff that happened in 2012 is when Facebook tells me. I'm just like, oh god. It was this ep? Okay, I guess so. So we'll get there.
Well, it looks like he wrote most of the second half of season 2.
That's what I remember. Man. Okay, we're going to talk about that too. All right. So we are at 0042, and we are going to press play in 3, 2, 1, and play. Oh, Jackson.
Come on, Jackson.
I love his little car poster. Such a boy. Oh, yikes.
Run, Derek. Run.
I know. I was just about to say it.
Oh no!
Look at Dallas parkour. He was so happy.
Somebody write that guy a ticket.
Whose house is this?
It's Argent's?
The Argent's house doesn't look like that, does it?
Maybe it's Lydia's?
I need you to promise that you won't say anything about what just happened.
I'll promise not to say anything about what just happened if you can tell me what the hell just happened.
It's kind of complicated.
Well, how about you start with why was Derek there? Or where Jackson went? Or what is wrong with Erica? Oh, do you need a minute to come up with a plausible lie?
Part of the reason why I'm asking is because Scott and I aren't supposed to be seeing each other, okay? So it's better if you just keep what you know to yourself.
Fine. I'll keep what I know about you and your boyfriend, which is nothing, to myself.
Hey. He's not just my boyfriend. You get that, right?
Let me go.
Just for 1 second, please try and remember.
Remember what?
Remember what it feels like. All of those times in school when you see him standing down the hall and you cannot breathe until you're with him. Or those times in class when you can't stop looking at the clock because you know that he's standing right out there waiting for you. Don't you remember what that's like?
No.
Oh.
What do you mean, no? You've had boyfriends.
Not like that.
What is Beacon Hills?
What do we do now?
That's tough.
Right. There's a lot going on there. Here, we'll go past the
Yeah.
credits and then we'll pause. Baker Hecklin.
I love that effect. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Never comes up in the series.
It looks great though. Alright, let's see if it lets me pause. Come back.
They are cool.
Hold on. Oh, it took away my control again.
Oh, let me give it.
Sorry. Did you see where he went? I lost him.
Okay, thank
Take it
you.
back.
Huh?
You can take it back.
Okay, wait, do I got it? Oh, it's doing that thing where it's like, nah, son. But that's okay.
Oh.
Just pay attention. Yeah, so there was a lot that happened, and you can automatically tell it's a Russell McKay episode. He likes a lot of cuts, and because he used to direct music videos, so I think he's used to putting a lot of story in a very kind of finite amount of space. And he does it well, but yeah, there was a lot that happened.
Yeah.
I love Jackson's commitment to never having to make his bed. That he constantly sleeps on top of a perfectly made bed, regardless. Let's see, Derek's parkour, fantastic. And, the Scallison feels, man. I remember, were any of you Scallison at this point?
I was never a Scallison.
That's crazy to me. How about you, Ethan? Were you ever Scallison?
Don't know her. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't feel
really
so much for
me
her.
Oh, wait.
The Allison Lydia scene was like...
Yeah.
The beginning of when they really start having like those kinds of scenes, like vulnerable scenes with each other. Canonically, I don't know exactly what was keeping Allison from telling Lydia what the hell was going on by now. I feel like she wanted to for so long, and do we ever get there?
Yes. Well, we have
Yes,
to,
we do, right? Somewhere in season 3, they have a little bit of a if, and then it's...
Well, Ethan, what were you going to say first? And then we'll go back.
I was surprised about Allison and Lydia's scene. It definitely made me feel a lot for Lydia, who at this point in the show, well, some things had happened to her when I had originally watched this, so I didn't sort of feel any sort of way towards her. So I think that was like one of the steps to sort of humanize her, to bring her back down, and just to have that very real moment where she was just like not like that. I think that was really awesome. That just that small scene. I think that was really well done. It was really well the pacing and the timing of how they said everything was really cool. I think they just they knocked that scene out of the park.
Crystal especially does this again and again on this show, where she makes Allison very vulnerable and human. And I'm thinking especially later on the scene that she has with the sheriff, where she's talking about how she's living in a constant state of panic with what's going on, and it just hasn't stopped, and she doesn't know if that makes her strong or if that makes her weak. And I thought that was this isn't the beginning. She started doing this really when she's confronted with when Kate kidnaps Derek, and she keeps it going throughout the season. So that was really good.
She's very consistent. Allison has a very consistent character. Michael, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts right now are like actually more towards like the production side of things.
Mm-hmm.
The observations I can make right now are just about this episode, because I don't remember everything that's happened before this in season 2. But I noticed how Russell involved so much story in a matter of 6 minutes,
mm-hmm.
and I guess there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like a lot to keep up with and pay attention to. But it's neat to distinguish every director's flavor of coloration for how they put their show together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking about that. And I'm also thinking how cool it is to watch each season and then see how the quality of graphics gets better and better. I don't know what their budget was for season 2, or like how much value they were able to get for how much they were given by MTV. But I always like to, pay attention to things like CGI and how either like funny it looks or how cool it looks.
It's really interesting, especially with a show like Teen Wolf, where I think season 2, they did get an increase in budget, and especially season 3A and going into 3B. But then after that, it kind of waned a little bit, and they started being a little bit more responsible. So they start using more kind of, what do you call the effects?
Practical effects?
Huh?
Practical effects?
Yes, thank you. It started going more into the practical effects and, the lighting and, we're going to kind of play with these different angles and that kind of thing. And so you lost a little bit of it, but I feel especially in season 2 to season 3A, they really came into their own with the special effects.
Yeah.
And awesome. I am... The thing that I find interesting story-wise about Allison and Lydia is the complaints that we have going into like season 4, season 5, season 6 with them trying to sell these relationships between Malia and Lydia and Kira and Lydia and Kira and Malia and all this other stuff is Allison and Lydia from the beginning have had this kind of connection, and this really was the start of that, where they had these really kind of intense conversations and really kind of getting to know each other, where we didn't get that same character building towards the end of the seasons. It's very interesting, remember watching this first run and now looking back and saying, oh, and now I kind of see where they were going with this, and either I can react to this in the way that was intended, or I have a different take on it. I was Scallison to the bone, and so I was like, oh, Allison, I understand, you're so in love, but and then I thought that Lydia was kind of lying about Jackson, because I was like, you have that with Jackson, you love him, you are you, but I do think that it's nonsense that they don't tell her about herself, and that for whatever reason, that be the reason that Allison used, whether it was genuine or not. I feel like it wasn't, because it just couldn't be. That's a crazy reason. I'm not going to tell you about supernatural stuff that you are directly affected by, because my dad doesn't know that we're still together. It's like, girl. But then you're like, high school kids. And this is why
I feel like that was a cover, so I didn't really buy that reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of those instances where it's like the plot needed it to be this way for it to work out the way it did, and I felt like it was a little obvious.
Exactly.
But the way the show is laid out, you're comfortable accepting this. It's like, oh, okay, we'll go with it.
Well, that's something that we talked about last week, is especially these first couple of seasons, there's a lot of hand waving to be done. But we were happy to do it because it was very entertaining. It wasn't really until the shift happened where they were like, you need to take this seriously. We're like, no, thank you. Yeah, this is a show about werewolves. Let's keep it like that. Oh, no, we can't. Okay. Yeah, no. Yes, and Allison and the Lydia moments, especially during 3A, are just choice. Fantastic. Oh, right. Let's see what else Argent, I understood. Why doesn't the Canum ever just use his tail?
It costs more, okay?
Yeah. I was just like, why are they fighting? You have a tail, Canema, use it. Also, again, the question we ask every episode, how old is Beacon Hills? Or how big is Beacon Hills? Because, again, it looks like this huge, sprawling metropolis, but it's completely empty. And it's fantastic. Let's see.
Wait, so what are night shoots like this?
Oh, yeah.
What? Like, how, like, I mean, I know you do a night shoot later on, but we'll spend all our time talking about what's actually going on in the scene then. So, like, what are night shoots like this like? Like, I mean, is it, like, all night long until, like, dawn?
Good question. Yes, actually. Usually production never ends early. It usually goes over time, and so yeah, like they can run so late, which is why you'll hear actors having like 14-hour shoot days. It's because of production, not because of the actors. Because the actors like waiting for things to get set up and all this. There's so many components that goes into play, and so yeah, night shoots are fun until it's like, guys, it's like 4 a.m. and we're like halfway done.
Oh,
I started my day at like 4:00 p.m.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The first third of that was hair and makeup, but someone else's hair and makeup. So,
So like this was early smartphone days. What did you do to pass the time?
yeah. Well,
It's like so much Candy Crush.
yeah, like to pass the time. Okay, so for me to pass the time in season 2, my scenes were just like little scenes here and there, and so I never had a lot of time sitting in a trailer that I had to kill, and so I didn't really have any downtime that was like a major block of hours. But season 3, there was that, and we were up in the Acton, California mountains, which is north of LA, like an hour and a half, and it was like a middle of the night shoot, and I had to wait like 3 or 4 hours after my call time for my scenes to actually get there. And I mean, that wasn't like early smartphone days, but still, like,
Yeah.
sometimes you're just like sitting in your trailer just sleeping, or gosh,
Okay,
like
correction, BBS. I mean like 3G. You know, like early smartphone where if you use your smartphone for more than a couple hours, it died.
yeah. Oh, I always bring an acoustic guitar, so just like bring.
That's what I'm about to say. Did you guys like
Oh, nice.
do a little group hang at all, a little jam?
Yeah.
What was your go-to song?
Anything by John Mayer.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Still rocking it.
Oh my
MD
god,
in
I just like
2011.
pictured like young Peter Hale walking up to an open mic right now.
Oh, I love
Your
it.
body is a wonderland or something like that.
Yes.
I mean,
Let's
man.
write that.
So that's something so Peter would do. That'd
He
be like
would.
his hidden side.
It would be like his secret thing. Like you would, he's like, on weekends, I like to try to be the alpha. But on weekdays, every Thursday night at jams, I like to get my feelings out. And that's how I do it.
Silver.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes, of course, Wonderwall. How dare you? We are at 6:49. Do I have the remote? I don't.
I'll go. We are at 6:49, and we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and play.
What? You can catch a scent? I don't think he has one. All right, any clue where he's going? To kill someone. Ah, that explains the claws and the fangs and all that. Good, makes perfect sense now. Scott, come on. I'm 147 pounds of pale skin and fragile bone, okay? Sarcasm is my only defense. Just let me find it, not it.
Classic.
I know, I know. All right, but does he know that? Did anybody
Wait,
else
I didn't
know
remember
else?
Styles humanizing him first.
I don't think so, but he already passed Derek's test anyways. That's just the thing. How did he pass the test? I don't know. Maybe it's like an either-or thing. Derek said that a snake can't be poisoned by its own venom, right? When's the can, when not the can?
When it's a jar.
When it's Jackson. Dude? See that? He's inside. What's he gonna do in there? I know who he's after.
He's gonna
What?
dance.
How, did you smell something? Armani.
What? Why don't I remember
God.
any of that?
For Macy's or something?
I've just gotten this mixed up with like so many other things.
All right, maybe there's like a window he climbed through, or some kind of handle that we can rip off with supernatural strength. I don't know. Think of that.
Oh, classic. That dude always cracks me up.
Everyone in here's a dude. I think we're in a gay club. Man, nothing gets past those teen werewolf sexes, huh, Scott?
Damon Jackson. Aw, Danny's at.
They're better off without him.
Still doesn't feel good.
You know what will feel good? That guy. 2 beers. IDs? How about 2 Cokes? Rum and Coke? Sure. Coke's fine, actually. I'm driving anyway. That one's paid for.
Oh, that's Danny. The makeup Danny. Hair Danny.
Yeah, but your face did.
Or wardrobe Danny.
Hey, I found Danny. I found Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Prado.
Dang, Prada was out.
Let's go, Prada.
I thought the dog was going to end up bloody at this point. So
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
I'm just glad of you.
I was like, no, don't let it happen.
Prada, let's go.
Oh. I love that she's barefoot in a leather jacket.
Prada.
Oh.
Need something?
Hit you.
Get Danny. What are you gonna do? Works for me. Danny?
Tank stuff. Cannibal on the dance floor. Oh, I remember this when people just start dropping. That disgusting floor. Is that Dean?
Jackson!
I forgot about all of this. After this scene, go ahead and pause it, Philip. Oh, wait, I said after. You can let it run a little bit more.
Okay.
Is this the Mountain Ash episode?
No, like he's running off.
Okay.
And well, you'll see.
Okay. Oh. Okay, pause. All right, we are at 13:59. So, let's talk. I loved Scott's little sassy look to Styles at the beginning. And that is one thing I wish that instead of going like super stoic with Scott, that they would have stuck with like kind of, goofy, charming, like fun, very affable kind of character. Styles and the Drag Queens, total classic moment. Oh, and we got the start. I'm 147 pounds or whatever of, oh God, what is it? Skin and bones?
Yeah.
Sarcasm is my only defense. Ugh.
One thing I gotta say about Richard's way of putting so much information into these episodes is that it gave us so much to work with.
Oh, definitely. So, Michael, we have the show itself, but then on the fandom side is where the fanfic and the art and all that stuff come in. And this season especially was a treasure trove of just lots of fun little tropes and ways to kind of build up the story outside of the story. And that's kind of the issue about rewatching the stuff where I'm like, is that real or was that from a fic that I read? And it's like, oh yeah, that did happen. I forgot. I want to talk about the club scene real quick, and then we'll dial back and then talk about, ooh, nice. Got you, girl. Then we'll dial back and talk about Prada. I remember now... No. Hold on. I was trying to multitask and it's not working. So here's what I'm going to do instead. No, I want...
Hey, is Lizbeth supposed to be in here?
Lizbeth?
Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I don't know that name, but I know Purple Pints. Sheila.
I got her in.
You got her in?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. What was I saying? Oh, I remember the club scene now. One of the things that always cracks me up just about production in general is a lot of times, well, pretty much all the time, they have to film those scenes without the music. They put the music in later. And so sometimes they'll give you like an earpiece, but sometimes they'll just give you a general, hey, dance around and, try to look like you're doing something to something. And so when you think about that and then you see the way that some of them are dancing, it's just always so much fun. Did we find out why he's going after Danny? Why Matt sent him after Danny?
Yeah, it's because Danny has the video and Matt wants it before Jackson has a chance to see it.
Okay. Aha. Okay. And so oh gosh. But he was going to kill him? Like, dang that.
Yeah, it's a huge stretch.
Matt had some issues, man.
Completely imbalanced.
Matt needed a little bit of a hug. He needed some prayer and some muesli. I don't know, man. Let's see. Oh, Purple Pines. Very nice. Purple Pines, turn off your sound and your camera, please. Here, we can still...
Oh, wait, that's just me. Hold on.
No, I don't think that's you, is it?
Hey.
Purple Pines, turn off your... There we go. All right. So, yes, let's talk about the reveal where a young junior, as we'll call him, comes on the screen holding a dog in the middle of the night. Creeping on. Tell us kind of like what your thoughts were when you were filming that. Anything you want to tell us.
Yeah,
Bangs.
totally. So that was the first scene we shot. And then right after we shot that little walk-up with Prada, we shot the scene where I have the flower, where Junior has the flower, or pulls it from the trellis behind Lydia. So so we shot that, and like a funny moment happened. It was like I think I had filmed for the episodes before this like a month before, and so I flew out for this to Atlanta.
Oh wow.
And like so it was like a month in between filming for me. And so anyways, I'm still getting to know how Russell directs the set and how the communication works, because every set has a different way communication happens. And so anyways, like I noticed that sometimes I wouldn't get the clearest instruction from Russell, and so I pay a lot of attention as an actor to how well and clearly is the director directing the actor, not just like the production element and the visuals. And so as an actor, I really love to get as much detail as possible so that I don't have to have any inner anxiety as to like what's expected of me in this scene,
right,
versus how much liberty can I take. So anyways, this was a simple walk-up. It was like a one-liner with a walk-up, very easy. But so we did a rehearsal take, and it was like taking an abnormal amount of time to like fix something, like with the camera or something. And so I'm just standing there, and like I think I heard like speeding, which means they're recording now. And I'm just like standing there. Russell didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, am I supposed to start this scene right now?
Yeah.
And I was a little scared because I was like, I didn't know quite what to do or how to react to that. I was like, I'm going to get chewed out or something. But anyways, I just like cut it myself. I was like, wait, am I supposed to be doing the scene right now? And then everybody just laughed and thought that was like funny. So thankfully they thought that was hilarious that I didn't know what I was doing.
Was it were they just kind of playing a joke on you?
No, I think that again, like sometimes like, I think as a series regular, you know,
kind of the ins and outs.
The director gave this look with his eye, and that means action, versus literally saying action. Like to me, I'm like, I need to hear you say that for me to know it's time to go. And so, but nobody said action, and I'm just standing there. I hear speeding, but the director usually calls action after they hear speeding or rolling.
Right.
That didn't happen, and I was just like standing there with the dog, like I'm just waiting for them to say action. they have like 15 seconds of me just like standing there staring at camera with the dog. And I'm like, wait, am I supposed to be going right now? And they were like, yeah.
And the dog's looking at you like, come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was
been a rough day on set.
Prada, I forget the dog's real name, but sweet dog. Anyways, it was a really easy scene. After that we just did it like really easy. There wasn't much to the coloration of that line. And with acting, you don't want to like overthink things. So easy delivery. We only did like 2 or 3 takes on that one. That's all that was needed. And so the interesting thing about that story-wise that I just realized is I think it's unique that, I mean, obviously Lydia did not expect Junior to be coming out from behind her backyard.
I would have been terrified.
So it's like, for her, it's totally random, but it makes sense for Prada. It's interesting that it's not revealed that Junior is anything yet except a guy. But his like wolf nature is clearly detectable by the dog, and so it's not unique. It's actually, it kind of makes sense that the dog ran to the untransformed werewolf instead of anybody else. That's how I picture it. Is like dog ran out the backyard because it like noticed Junior because he's a werewolf, not just like a human, and that's why they connected, and that's why young Peter came through Lydia's backyard holding the dog.
That is so interesting.
You see, like, young Peter or Junior as, like, a real, like, physical thing?
Did I see it? Is that, so, I think all along I kind of knew it was a hallucination that was, like, it's interesting because it is a physical manifestation of a hallucination. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to explain that or what, but it didn't necessarily change the way I was acting or anything. But that's a really interesting observation, Philip.
It's so interesting because looking back on this and knowing that, because I remember when I watched it the first time, we were like, who is this boy? And especially when he showed up in the backyard, I was like, no, Lydia, this is not right. I was like, this girl has been through too much. I was like, what is happening? And especially even during the rewatch, one of the first scenes that we see are in the hall outside of the guidance counselor's office, and you both are kind of like sitting there. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, we have never been introduced to this kid, but suddenly he showed up in her class and no one seems to kind of know or see what's going on. And just even looking back, I'm like, Lydia, she's being very flippant towards Miss Morel, and she's like, it's a butterfly, it's a butterfly, it's a butterfly. And I'm like, Lydia, ask her if she sees the dude in the hall. Can't she see him? Because I'm just like, this is crazy looking back what they put this poor girl through, but I love it. It's good times.
She had so much going on, like it's not till you watch it back, because we watched this really, like, when I watched, at this point, I was busy, so I wasn't watching the show on air, so I binged, like, this part of season 2, but, so we watch it really fast, but it's like, damn, they put her through a lot.
Yeah. And especially to then know that it's like, she still doesn't figure out what she is. For like 3 more seasons. You're just like, oh God, Lydia, you were the MVP this whole time. And we didn't even know it. But I'm here for it. We are at 13:59. Oh, can you...
Oh, okay, we're starting?
Yeah, go ahead.
Going in, we're at 13:59. We're going to play in 3, 2, 1, and play.
What do we do with him now?
Scallison!
So, should I call the police, or is there a non-rapist explanation for being here for the night?
I heard him barking, and I live in the house back there. Is it okay?
She's like, which one?
Oh, thanks for bringing him back.
Everything okay?
Okay, meaning what?
Meaning, are you alright?
Meaning the other day in class. I'm not crazy. I may be the girl who sleepwalks naked and writes backwards on the chalkboard, but at least I'm not one of those desperate, biking, popping wrist cutters at school.
Oh, is that what the other girls are like?
Hateful. Oh?
Why'd you do that?
Do what?
You step back.
You stepped forward.
Maybe I wanted to kiss you.
Who are you?
I didn't want you to.
Does that mean maybe I could?
If you want me to punch you in the throat.
Yes.
Could I hold your hand?
I am 9 years old.
Could I give you a flower? Promise to keep it? If I ask you tomorrow if you haven't and you say no, I'm gonna be really hurt.
Looking like a boy band. Love it.
I'll lie.
Cute.
Oh my God. All right, wait, press pause real quick. We gotta talk about all of that, Michael.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
Amazing. What a good day. So scene-wise, I'm just realizing how that escalated quickly in a romantic direction. Like, Junior just shows up in her backyard, and now they're talking about making out. And it's like, in that world, obviously that's how it goes.
You set off an entire ship with that.
Oh yeah, the young Jydia's work.
Because Peter, like grown Peter, has no really very few interactions with Lydia before this. So like it was never a thing. It's a huge thing.
Yeah, a lot of Pydia is based on young Peter and Lydia reactions, and I do remember people were like, "Ooh, Jackson, who?" Until we found out that it wasn't real, but then people were like, "Well, that's okay." But yeah, I do.
It didn't stop anyone when we found that it wasn't really like timeline real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's went.
Oh, it was so funny. I do love absolutely that, like. She's like, you know, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I live over there in that house back there. And I'm like, no, which one? Point me to it. Who are you? But he had them green boy band eyes and them bangs and was like, how about if I give you this flower? It's like, okay, all right, I'll wait.
So what I want to know for you all, like watching it for the first time, if you remember watching it for the first time, is like, knowing what all the characters are going through to some degree, what's coming to your mind when a random guy shows up like this and there's romantic inclination there? Like, what do you think? This is just like another nice twist to the story? Or did you actually pick up that there's something more here?
For me,
it happened? Oh.
Yeah, for me, it was very much, I'll allow this. Until we see what happens, I'll allow it, because I think Jackson had just dogged Lydia out, and Lydia was just going through all this stuff, and I was like, she needs some happy. And if it's from this mysterious guy who ain't got no name, but it wasn't until a couple of episodes later that I was like, oh no, this is not going to end well. But I was like, at this point, I was like, we're going to allow this and we'll see where it goes, but watch yourself, counselor. You know, like very much in that realm. How about you, Ethan? And then we'll get to you, Philip. Sorry. Oh, you okay? How about you, Ethan?
No, I think you did a great job with that scene. It was very charming. Yeah, I was like,
thank you.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, where? All of a sudden, because like obviously you had appeared in a couple scenes here and there, and then all of a sudden I was just like, oh, slick.
Slick.
Yeah.
There were some people who were very old hat at these kind of those kind of mechanisms, and so they were like, "Oh, new potential love interest, he's shady." Yeah, like from Jump Street, they were like, "No, no, no." But I think a lot of people were like, "Okay, we'll see where this goes. We'll see where this goes." And then there were some people that were on board. They were like, "Yes, new character, we'll love him forever." Let's do this. How about you, Philip?
It really depends on how it's done. Like, the way it was done here, it took all three of you. Like, your character, Holland's character, and Colton's character to all make it work. If any of you had failed at one point in this, it would have fallen apart. Because usually when you introduce a character like this, that is hitting up against an established, like, relationship, like Lydia and
Jydia.
Jackson, could have been a train wreck of people hating your character. Like, who is this guy, and who does he think he is? Doesn't he know he's getting in the way of them? But the way you all layered it out, and delivered what was given to you, let these kind of let people enjoy both or either or without really coming into conflict with each other, and that's really on the fan side of things. That I can be okay with what's going on, and it's enjoyable, even when it's not maybe what you're looking for. And so from the fandom side, it really allowed sides to coexist with each other.
That is a good thing. Were you going to say something, Michael?
I was.
Go ahead.
That's a really great observation to make. And Purple Pints says it right here, just the right amount of creep / sweet. So on that note, I remember reading this scene and being like, this is a cold approach, basically a warm approach to this girl here, to Lydia. And so something that I've wanted to bring to this scene was not some player attitude, but because I didn't still know a lot about Peter or young Peter. They didn't give me like a breakdown of the character at all, really. And I didn't. At this point, I had not spoken with Ian Bowen about Peter, and so I had to just roll with what was in the script and take some cues from the writing and trust that they cast me with my personality that I showed in my audition tape for a reason, so I didn't really have to step out of myself and into some obtuse like character. So that being said, I wanted to bring somewhat of like a soft approach, like confident, but like I'm still going to respect that I'm showing up in the middle of the night, waiting on you in your backyard. And so I'm like walking a thread there, and I think that came across because it adds an element of like there's something like cautious about Junior about this, but there's just behind it just total confidence, like he's running the show in this little portion of the show. With what I was desiring to bring, which was a little bit of caution, or more accurately said, like not rushing across the boundaries to where it was like unrealistic. I think that's when, like, in real life, I don't think that situation would actually happen that way. But obviously it's not real life. But I like to bring real life into fantasy so that it's like relatable. It draws people in all the more, even to like a fantasy kind of show. So, I just did my best in that scene to like somewhat show that I'm like that Junior is respecting the boundaries of Lydia, at least like face to face there. Obviously, kind of trespassing, but
well, I think one thing that works in your favor is that it's very easy to be one-dimensional and come off as, like, a douche. You know, where you're just like, hey, lady, let me give you this flower, pucker up. You know, and it's like, if you can kind of not be anywhere near that line as much as possible, then I think you're in a good space. And I think that's one thing that the character does really well, is that you can always kind of give them that benefit of doubt. It's like, okay, you're here in the middle of the night, but, you know, okay, you know, like you're talking, you're not acting like you're not being kind of extra, because you're like, oh, why'd you do that? She's like, you know, you took a step back, and she's like, well, you took a step forward. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I see this, and it's not treating her like an idiot, and then also realizing, be like, but I would still like to kiss you.
It was dangerous, seductive, but not overpowering, and it was.
Yes, you got it.
I think Philip really hit the nail on the head when he was talking about that it really did take the trifecta to make it work across the board. The deliveries from you, from Holland, and from Colton, to really sell that. Mazixi, and she said, because this is the exact same thing that happened with me, she said, I didn't clock young Peter right away, but we did clock Miss Blake, Jennifer Blake, almost immediately. And I think it's because that extra element of kind of vulnerability and something else to kind of relate to, because to that point, Derek Hale hadn't really had any canon on paper obvious love. Well, there was an obvious one, but nothing that was like written in the script up to that point. And so to have Jennifer kind of come out of nowhere and then be like, hey, you looking cute. And I was like, oh no, you shady girl. Like from Jump Street, she was shady. But shady in a way that I think young Peter wasn't.
And that was an example of one character where, in a way, she came on screen and it was like, it wasn't instant love. It was very... she did something else. She sparked a reaction in the audience.
Yeah, I liked her from the beginning. I really liked Jen, and I was hurt in my soul when she was evil. But I knew, like, when she started trying to get with Derek.
Amazing.
Huh?
And Haley, the actress herself, is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And the way she pulled off, because, I mean, that character really should have had more screen time, and it didn't. And she really, put in so much.
Haley is very good. Again, one of those things where that's another champion of fan fiction, because they really were able to take the time to kind of figure out that character and, really round her out in a serviceable way. She said she had everyone's cell phone numbers. That was shady. I love her. Okay, we are at 15:52, and go ahead and press play, Phil. I'm going to step away for a second, but I'll be right back.
Okay, so we're going to play in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Just seeing if you're okay, and wondering if anything weird happened to you today, besides being paralyzed from the night down.
Sorry, but we need to get him to the hospital.
One more question, just one. Are you okay?
Does that happen to my ex, too?
Yeah.
It's not great.
Could mean anything on a day.
Okay, can we just get the hell out of here now before one of my dad's deputies sees me? Oh my god, could this get any worse? That was rhetorical. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. We're at a crime scene and he's the sheriff. Do something. Jackson, be quiet.
What are you doing here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? What, it's a club. It's a club. We were clubbing, At the club.
Not exactly your type of club.
Well, Dad, there's a conversation that
You're not gay.
Well, I could be.
Not dressed like that.
What's... Jackson, be quiet.
This is the second crime scene that you just happen to have shown up on. And at this point, I've been fed so many lies, I'm not sure I know the kid standing in front of me. Now, what the hell is going on?
What's happening? Jackson, I'm sorry, but...
Dad, I
The truth, Styles.
The truth, Well, the truth is that we were here with Danny. Yeah, because he just broke up with his boyfriend, so, we were just trying to take him out and get his mind off things. That's it.
That's really good of you guys. You're good friends.
What was that?
7 paralyzed. The rumor is drugs, probably hallucinogens, since witnesses say they saw a demonic monster on the dance floor.
Now, who would believe something like that?
You know what I'm having trouble believing? How you just stood there while that thing circled you and did nothing. You want to explain that to me?
Intuition.
Then you know what it is.
I have a suspicion. And if I'm right, it plays by certain rules. Rules that don't bend easily.
Do we need to put a hole in Derek to figure this thing out?
Not necessarily. Tonight's the first time you had a glimpse of him since Kate died, am I right?
Unfortunately.
And the only other tie we have to him is Isaac Leahy.
What are you thinking?
That if this thing bothers Derek enough to bring him out of his little hole, then we might have an opportunity. What did I teach you is the best way to eliminate a threat?
Get someone to do it for you.
I know whose motto that is.
What about your house? Not with my mom there. We need to take him somewhere where we can hold him long enough to figure out what to do with him. Or long enough to convince him he's dangerous.
I still say we just kill him.
We're not killing him. God.
Okay. I got an idea.
Does it involve breaking the law?
By now, don't you think that's a given?
I was just trying to be optimistic.
Don't bother.
Oh, okay. I remember this now.
I thought there was more planning involved in this scene for some reason.
Styles! I'm gonna kill you!
How did Styles get this truck? Go ahead and pause real quick. Oh, it's not too bad. We're at 20:39. And, yeah, I don't know what happened. Someone fill me in.
It was the not dressed like that scene in the beginning of Sheriff's trust issues with Styles.
Okay. And, what did they... Oh, Beacon Hills. This is one thing that It was kind of an ongoing theme throughout the entire season, but they never really, touched on it. At this point, we know that the supernatural is the open secret of Beacon Hills. But this hospital and these people make so many terrible excuses for these things that happen. They're like, oh yeah, it must have been drugs that caused them to be paralyzed for 6 hours. And make them see monsters on the floor. And it's like, there are monsters. I just wish they would have leaned into the ridiculousness of that more and more. Because it's just so stupid. But I love it. Oh,
yeah,
and so...
Lana Earp does this really well, where, the whole town is buying into, there's not demons running through our town for over a century. It's just the way this town is. It's weird like that. And it's there's a group of people who know, and then there's other people who are just okay, I'm going to go with it. Right.
We're like, okay, whatever. But, their insurance rates have got to be through the roof. What did I tell you?
Of course, there's that problem between this town is so big that it has all of these different locations, but it's so small that it has to be covered by county police, a county police department instead of a city.
I almost wish that they would have lived in Beacon Mounds, and then Beacon Hills was the nearby city, or it was Beacon Hills and it was next to Sacramento or something like that. Because we always get this crazy disparity of, it's just a small town with the county sheriff van that anyone could get in these huge woods. But then also cut to looking over this gigantic sprawling city filled with people. And you're just what is happening?
It was going to build a subway system underneath.
Right. The subway system that never took off. Couldn't pass that measure. I did like his, how did I teach you to eliminate, the best way to eliminate a target? And he's get someone else to do it for you. And I love that kind of became the theme for a lot of nonsense as we go on throughout the seasons. Okay, and I love this plan of Styles stealing the van. I had forgotten about this. And this is another one where the scene from this van has been written into a lot of stuff. So let's get to it. Go ahead and press play.
Okay, we're at 2039 and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Okay, I bought you some food.
Let me out! No!
I put those pants on you, all right, buddy? One leg at a time. Being all up close and personal with your junk wasn't exactly a highlight of my day. So don't think this is fun for me either. We're actually doing you a favor?
This is doing me a favor?
Yes. You're killing people to death.
Oh.
Yeah. And until we can figure out how to stop you, you're going to stay in here. Sorry. Now, do you want the ham and cheese or the turkey club?
You actually think my parents won't be looking for me?
They probably
If they
won't.
don't think anything's wrong. Yeah.
Oh, this is so
Mr.
funny.
Whitmore, maybe I'm missing something, but this doesn't exactly spell foul play.
Aw,
It
Jackson ain't
reads-
got no friends.
Stayed at a friend's house last night. Everything fine. Love you. Now, while we're as close as any family can be, there are certain things Jackson has not been able to say since the day we told him he was adopted.
Things like what?
Jackson never says, I love you.
Never?
Not once in 11 years.
Dang.
So who did you say you were studying with tonight?
Just Lydia. We're prepping for a world history midterm.
History was one of my favorites, especially military history. Ever
God.
hear the phrase, know thy enemy?
It's from The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Very good. Know what it means?
In order to win a battle, one must know everything they can about their enemy.
Right again. Your father and I happen to be having that very problem. We've got an enemy about which we know next to nothing. It's killed one of our own, among others.
I've heard.
Did you hear Jackson Whitmore didn't show to school today?
He didn't?
His parents called and so did the police. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Well, let me tell you what I know. I know that a teenager's first instinct is to protect their friends. And I believe my granddaughter would always want to protect her friends, even if it meant lying. So I want to ask one more question, and this time with a small advantage. I'm not going to hurt you.
Oh, come on, Grandpa.
I just want to get a sense of your pulse.
Oh my
Think of it
god.
as a game. All you have to do is tell the truth.
He never got off the battle star.
Do you know anything about Jackson being missing?
No.
Is he in trouble?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does this have anything to do with Scott?
No. I mean,
Who's Scott?
I don't know.
Your pulse jumped.
Quit touching my
scaring
neck.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I was definitely going way too far.
No kidding.
It wasn't right for me to use tactics like that. I'm sorry. You can go back to class.
Look at Beacon Hill's trying
Go
to care
ahead.
about security.
Scott. Scott.
I'm afraid your teacher was feeling ill today and had to leave early. So, unfortunately, you're stuck with me as a substitute. Can anyone catch me up to speed on where we are? Mr. McCall, how about you?
Like, who are you?
Scales. Like a fish. No, more like a reptile. And your claws have this liquid that paralyzes people. And you have a tail.
I have a tail.
Yeah, you do.
Does it do anything?
No, not that I know of.
Use it to strangle you?
God, you still don't believe me. All right. Tonight of the semifinal game. What did you do right after?
I went home.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, you idiot. What the hell else did I do?
You attacked me and Derek at the school and you trapped us in the pool. You also killed a mechanic, right in front of me, by the way. That was lovely. And one of Argent's hunters. Oh, and last night you tried to kill Danny.
Why would I want to kill my best friend?
Well, that's what Scott's out trying to figure out right now.
What maybe he should be trying to figure out is how he's going to pay for a lawyer when I prosecute your asses all the way to jail.
All right, well, tell me this. On the night of the first full moon, what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing happened.
Allison. We've noticed quite a few calls from your phone to the odd one, Stilinski.
Oh, he told me to keep an eye on Lydia, and he's had a crush on her since like 3rd grade, so I'm gonna have to talk to him.
I know it's hard. Sitting here, trying not to look at him. Think of how strong it makes you. Especially when all these other girls are just letting their entire high school lives be defined by some boy they're just praying will take them to senior prom.
Can I be strong and go to prom?
Of course. But with someone else. Remember, so long as you stay strong, we won't have to kill a 16-year-old boy.
I love her. All right, go ahead and press pause after this. Good times.
Pause at 27:32.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Victoria, I love the Argents taking over the school. That was like a big plot point. And I remember at the time we were like, Kate's going to be the janitor. Even before, because did they do it during season 1? Or was it this season? Did they take over during season 1 or was it this season?
It was this season.
Okay, shoot. It was like, someone's going to be the janitor. Someone's going to be the lunch lady. Chris is going to be in there somewhere. I love...
When it comes to like PE coach or like ROTC or something.
Right, exactly. I just love how outlandish that is, but then how intense. Especially Victoria. She's always been super intense, and Edie plays her to perfection. But again, it makes me wonder... I really do think that her and Chris were like an arranged marriage, because I just can't imagine her on a date. I feel like that would be terrifying.
She is just so on the whole time. There is this line, "Can't I be strong and go to prom?"
Yeah.
That I thought filled in this, journey of women to be vulnerable and still enjoy the things that are associated with being a girl and be independent and strong at the same time. And this is one of those times where they touch the right note.
Exactly. Because after a while we did get a lot of like, oh, girls can be powerful, but they have to kind of embody these masculine traits in order to do it, and so that became very frustrating. So like at the beginning of this, we were like, okay, she wants to... I guess that was kind of the thing with Lydia, where Lydia was like, I'm going to put on my mask, which was her makeup at her point, and I'm going to kind of provide this front. And she was able to do things and still kind of keep her femininity, which is why, like, when we get to season 5 and then suddenly she's kung fu fighting, and you're just like, girl, no, like, your whole thing was that you didn't have to kind of be extra in this way, that you were good within yourself. And now we're kind of getting a decimation of that. But I do like these moments, especially early on, where they kind of hit home with that.
Okay, so Michael, we get these scenes that are kind of really intense, but ridiculous if you were to have them in real life. Like this line about, we won't have to kill a 16-year-old boy. And then you have your kind of scene with Lydia that like is like, that's not the way the world works. What do you do to prepare yourself to like maintain... your composure doing something that would probably be pretty silly to say.
Yeah, good question. Well, I think there is an acceptance that this is a story, and in a sense, when it's about like werewolves and stuff, there's going to be some pretty out there things, and so as an actor interpreting how to portray the scene, I mean, you just put everything you have into delivering what the story's all about without judging it. So, I mean, yeah, it's totally weird, some of the stuff that happens, because it's totally not reality. But that's also kind of like an intriguing part of acting, is when you are portraying a story that is just like totally unreal, and it kind of adds like an element of fun rather than like speculation and judgment towards it. I mean, it gives you more room to play in the scene, but then real life kicks back in, and it's like, man, after the fact, it's like, that was kind of weird. I hope people don't think I'm like that in real life. So.
You don't show up in people's backyards in the middle of the night holding their dogs.
Sometimes,
right.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes it works.
I do love the kind of over-the-top campiness, and I think that is something that Edie Mays understood. I think it's something that Michael Hogan understood from the very beginning, that this is a drama, but there is a levity to be had within it. And that's like, later on, like his seminal line of Mountain Ash, it's like you don't get that kind of line without the acknowledgement that even though, this is a very serious storyline, there is a little bit of tongue in cheek. And I remember, especially at this point, we were completely on board for that. Like I said, there was a lot of hand waving to be done. Like, okay, I'm going to let that slide, but, let's get back to it and let's keep having fun. And they play bad in the best possible way. And it really, really works. I thought it was super sad that Jackson couldn't say I love you for like 11 years. I'm like, why don't y'all are rich. Send him to therapy. What's going on? Give him a hug. But that was the tip-off, and that made me very sad. And Sheriff was so confused. Which is why... go ahead.
So much of that was supposed to be discovered in season 3, which we didn't get, of course, because Colton doesn't come back. He goes to Arrow afterwards.
He goes to London.
Well, yeah, Jackson goes to London and Colton goes to Arrow. But, there were so many things laid out in this season for Colton's character, and he does have that tendency to play it over the to play it over the top. And he brought a lot from the gates with him when he came to the show.
Definitely. I live for that. Because same with Lydia. A lot of people either are here for Lydia's kind of the mean girl who's really a super genius, who always has something quippy to say, always has something smart to say. Some people were like, not for me. And I was like, on board. When does this boat leave? I am ready. I love it all. So her extraness, Colton's extraness, they were it for me. I adored it. It was good times. Let's see. Oh yeah, all these girls want is a boy to take them to prom, but you're different. And Colleen Styles, the odd one. I love how she just refuses with Styles. I'm like, aw. But then also, they're just keeping tabs on Allison. I don't think I really tracked it that much when we watched it the first time, how deep in her business they were. But it's like, you're at the school, you're going through her phone records. This girl cannot get a date to save her life. But she was like, yeah, just with any other boy but him. So, we'll see. Yes, and that was another thing. Someone was like, why are they at school until 4? And I was like, does school get out like at 3:45? Usually it's like a weird time, but I thought that was a little late.
Get out at 2.
Yes, I think Jackson is a Hale too. I would have loved that if we went for season 3 and then Jackson's revealed to be Peter's son, which I still take as canon. So we'll see someday. We are at 27:32. Is this Styles still trying to keep up this texting ruse? If Daddy don't text you back, Styles, your stuff is not working, homie. And we are going to press play in 3, 2, 1, and play. Ooh, interesting.
Oh my God.
I know.
What?
I know Jackson's missing.
No, they can't. I've been texting his parents since last night. They don't have a clue.
My grandfather told me his parents went to the police. They know.
Oh.
All available units proceed to Beacon Hills Preserve as instructed. Proceed with caution until Sheriff Stilinski's arrival. Repeat. Proceed with caution.
Dun dun dun. Oh yes, my
Where are we
God.
going? Somewhere very far from this.
That's so rude.
You sure everything's okay between you and Jackson?
Yeah, please.
Everything's fine. The cops have to take my fake ID? You didn't do anything to make him angry. How angry? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being kind of irritated and 10 wanting to kill you violently. Jackson's kind of always at a 4. But we're good. I was actually doing him a favor. What favor? I was recording a video for him. I put it on my tablet, which is in the trunk of my car, and probably still at the club. What was on the video? I'm not really supposed to say. Danny, what if I told you this could be a matter of life and death? I'm not supposed to say. Okay. What if I told you you could get your fake ID back?
Well, I think you being here to check in on your friend is all sorts of commendable. I've got to play tough mom right now, even though I'm not very good at it.
Right now?
Yes, right now. I got a call from your principal. You are failing 2 classes?
I know. And that's why I'm studying with Styles right now.
Do you know that if you fail even one of your midterms, that they're going to hold you back?
He said that?
Yes. Well, if your friends are going to be juniors while you are still a sophomore, do you understand, Scott? You cannot fail.
I know.
Okay. Thank you.
He's gonna do his pull-ups and read Call of the Wild.
Jackson doesn't remember being the Canema. He's definitely not going to remember stealing Danny's tablet.
Why would he steal the thing if he doesn't even know what's on it?
What if someone else took it?
Then somebody else knows what he is.
Which could mean someone's protecting him.
I feel like the bestiary says the Canema seeks a friend, right?
Okay, hold on. So, somebody watches Jackson make a video of himself turning into the Canema and then just erases part of it so he wouldn't know? Wait, who would do that?
Somebody who wanted to protect him?
There's something else. You said the only thing you found online about the Canema is that it goes after murderers. What if that's actually true?
No, it can't be. He tried to kill all of us, remember? I don't know about you two, but I haven't murdered anybody lately.
Well, I don't think that it was actually trying to kill us.
Peter!
When we were at Isaac's the first time, it just went right by us, did it?
You're right, it just ran off.
And it didn't kill you in the mechanics garage.
Oh, yeah, but it tried to kill me and Derek in the pool.
Did it?
It would have. It was waiting for us to come out.
What if it was trying to keep you in?
Why do I feel so violated all of a sudden?
Because there's something else going on. We don't know what it is. We don't know
Matchmaker
anything about what's going on
Canema.
with Jackson or why someone's protecting him.
Know thy enemy. Just something my grandfather said.
All right, I got it. Kill Jackson. Problem solved.
He risked his life for us. Against Peter, you remember that?
Yes, but what did we just find out? He got the bite from Derek. It's funny how he just got exactly what he wanted by supposedly risking his life for us. It's funny.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's not still worth saving.
It's always something with him, though.
He doesn't know what he's doing. So what? So I didn't either.
You still don't.
You remember when I almost killed you and Jackson? I had someone to stop me. He's nobody.
That's his own fault.
It doesn't matter. If we can save him, we should try.
Oh. Squeeze out that tear, Bobo. Why is it night?
Styles went to check on Lydia. She still hasn't forgiven him for promising to talk to her and then ditching her at her car.
That's not easy to explain.
How did your dad know where to be last night? He was there in the alley. Him and Gerard.
They have people. Guys who monitor every camera in town. ATMs, traffic cameras. Have you seen the ones they put up in school? You thought I told him.
No. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm on your side, Scott. I'm always on your side.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought that things would get back to normal by now. Or at least normal enough so that I could pass my classes.
You'll pass.
You put some music on, please. Thing with the radio?
I use Intune. It has Pandora.
Product placement.
I felt like I was going to fall asleep in your arms.
I like it when you fall asleep in my arms.
I don't. I wake up, you're always gone.
Message.
I don't want to wake you.
I'd rather just wake up with you.
You will. High school's only 2 more years.
It's just hard enough for normal people to get through.
Isn't she a year older? She only got 1 year.
But they're still the same grade.
Well, for her to be 18.
Ever since we saw her at the hospital, Lydia was bit by an alpha, right? Peter told Styles that if the bite doesn't turn you, it'll kill you. But nothing happened to Lydia.
Meaning what? She's immune?
I mean, if she is, doesn't immunity mean that you could be cured?
Oh, Scott.
Would you want that?
I want anything that lets me be with you. Not just till the end of high school.
Well, then you better not get too good of a college. The grades suck.
Not just a college.
Children.
I'm serious.
I know.
Did they switch sides? I wish Jackson would make a noise or something. Scott down here, nothing.
Guys might want to come take a look at this.
Those dorks.
I have to tell my father. Scott. He's going to kill someone.
Okay, tell him. Tell him everything. Scott, I gotta tell mine too. This is all my fault.
It's not.
It is.
But we have to tell them. We're just a bunch of teenagers. We can't handle this.
You're right.
How are you gonna make your dad believe all this?
I don't know. He'll believe me.
All right, go ahead and pause. Oh, man. Oh, Scotty. Teenagers, eh?
Wow. Teenagers in their 30s, like, really? Really?
That is one thing that someone was like, it is literally all your fault. Teen Wolf is one of the shows. It was one of the first kind of flagship shows on MTV. But MTV has always had a thing about being very sex positive and, you know, that kind of thing. And so it's like, okay, you know, teenagers, they get together and they have sex. But on this show especially, they do it in the most ridiculous of situations. Why are you doing this, Scott? You know, like, what is going on? And of course, you know, at the time when you are a teenager, you think, oh, it's very romantic and very cute. But the second you age out of that, you're just like, this is nonsense. Why? Yeah, it always cracks me up every time I look at this. I'm just like, why was this the answer? What happened here? Ball drop. Purple Pines asked something. Oh, was Colton allergic to the latex prosthetics? I feel like that is a story he told, but I can't remember.
Someone said it last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a stunt guy do the vast majority of the stuff in the latex suit because he was allergic to it.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that had to be annoying.
And then Jeff took the needle in raving because Colton's afraid of needles. So.
Oh, I don't remember the needle.
Yeah, so like they take his own venom and then like inject him with it, I think, in the neck, and that's Jeff's neck, and you can actually see his eye.
It was ketamine.
Jeff has had to sub in a few times. He subbed in for
times,
stuff. Yeah. What was I gonna say? That's oh god, it's such young dumb teenagers in love. It's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like most of the actors. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, so from like an acting standpoint, too. Oh, you hit on it earlier. Like this interesting realm of like teenage love, but once you age out of that, it's like, whoa, that was just out there for me to act that way. And so like most of the actors are like in their mid-20s acting like they're 16. 15, 16, and like it's an interesting thing to like step back into your past and channel when you did have those real life romantic times where it's just like he's just waiting outside in the hallway for me.
Yes.
Like now I would be like that's just weird. I mean, no, that's cool, but I like there's a different level of like romance when you age, and so I just wonder how every different actor like channeled that and made it believable. It's just so interesting, like playing a teenager when you're already in your like mid-20s. It's such a maturity difference, and so to keep that authentic is interesting. Like to authentically play that you're still in the teenage naivete of romance.
And really that is what it is. Yeah, that it is that thing of your world becomes narrowed down to like this one person and you just can't see outside of that. And it's like, it's completely sweet and endearing and cute, but also annoying AF. And you just want to strangle these children, be like, get out of this hormone fog and go do what you need to do. But that's part of the lilt of it, is that they're kids, so it's like, and Allison even said, she's like, we need to call my dad, like, this is just getting way beyond our control, he's literally going to kill someone, it's just like, oh no.
Yeah, and I think that we tend to not give the show sort of like the benefit of the doubt, with sort of what I call kind of, I think about this a lot, sort of like the tragedy of adolescence. So you're constantly, when you're growing up, you're constantly experiencing your new worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Oh, and so, man. Yeah.
And so to thinking about that in terms of like how teenagers react to things is really like, you're just, like I remember my mom sort of telling my sister, oh my God, you're being so dramatic. You're being so dramatic. But it's like, this is possibly one of the worst things that's ever happened to her. And you're not really being like, you're not understanding that, It was just like this complete disconnect between that. So, and I think that Teen Wolf actually does a pretty good job of like showing that in here with Scott and Allison, like not seeing the person, not being near the person. That's literally the worst thing in the entire world, because it is literally for them in their world, that is the worst thing that could happen to them, not being together.
One thing I really find interesting about that is because when we kind of have the meta arguments with the aunties, that is a thing that came up with. It's like, oh, well, he doesn't really give that much time to Allison. He doesn't ignore anything important for Allison. It's like, well, clearly he does, but he's a 16-year-old kid. Of course he's going to. It doesn't make him the greatest alpha, or like the greatest leader. His intentions are good, but he's still a child. Like, it's okay to give him a pass for that, or to take him to task for that, one way or the other, as long as the effort is there. We see Scott, especially in and of himself, really embodying what it is to kind of be a teenager, being like, school is whatever, but I don't want to be held back a grade, and, if Lydia, let's figure out what's going on with her, because if she's immune, then maybe I can find a cure, and would you like me if I had a cure? And, just these very kind of self-serving things that are really completely in character. They're not necessarily bad things as much as they are just a kid being a kid and figuring it out, which really for me was the attraction for me to this show. I was not one for werewolves. I did not care about the supernatural. I wanted to see a show about a boy that got bit and went through some things, and how was he going to deal with it. So there was one other thing. Oh, Michael, Pine says kind of like you were in the same boat, being, I guess semi-adult and then playing this kind of younger role. How old were you when they filmed this?
Like the character or my own age?
Both.
I'm sorry, 1 sec.
Oh, okay. We'll come back. See. Go ahead, Philip.
Okay, no, I'm back. I had to just take care of something real quick.
No worries.
Sorry, so you were asking me how old I was, or the character supposedly was?
Both.
Oh, okay. So I was 23, and Peter was always, young Peter was, it was always left ambiguous.
Right.
Even Jeff wanted to leave that undefined. But he was, the most specific comment I got from Jeff was that he's essentially like college aged. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were college age, playing college age, pretending to be a teenager.
Yeah. Yep.
It's Inception right there. Love it.
Totally.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Naughty boy, naughty Peter. I love it. Okay, let's go ahead and finish out this episode. We're at 38:53.
And we're playing in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Oh, gosh. But why in the dark?
I've been sitting here for an hour waiting for you.
I can't hang out right now, Lydia.
I don't need anyone to hang out with. I need someone to talk to.
Hey,
Holland
I
in this
understand that's
middle
important,
part.
But if it can just wait.
Why is everyone always telling me to wait? Why can't anyone have right now available?
You can't have everything right now. You know what I need? I need someone to translate 5 pages of archaic Latin. Obviously, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
I know archaic Latin.
You know archaic Latin.
I got bored with classical Latin.
I love her.
Just how smart are you?
Just show me the pages.
If you buzz this in, I gotta see my dad.
Oh, is this... Oh.
Yeah.
Scott, Styles. Perfect timing. Have you met Jackson's father? Mr. David Whitmore?
Esquire.
Esquire.
That means lawyer.
Are you sure? Miss Morrell said that word means friend. The Canema seeks a friend.
She was wrong. It means master.
The Canema seeks a master.
What? Is that important?
Yeah. Someone's not protecting him. Someone's controlling him.
You better give us a look, Crystal. I love it. Doom, 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 doom.
Poop.
I think we're good. It's probably the same at the end.
Is that important?
What's happening? Oh, you want to look at it again?
Someone's not protecting him. Someone's controlling him.
Love it. Fantastic. Crystal Reed always did a really... Danny's ex. Damon Jackson is Danny's ex. Love that. Danny still no last name. Michael Fjordbak. They got it this time. Junior. Javier Carrasquillo. Nick, the bartender. Very good. That was a fun ep. There was a lot that happened.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was the Club episode.
I know, neither did I. That was right.
I was like, oh.
Yep, Styles said, he went back. They're all friends. I love it. I'm here for it. I wonder if Danny ever got his fake ID back. How is Scott going to get his fake ID? Did we ever find out that plan? Scott just telling lies. I love it. Jackson does have the best grin when he's just like, bruh. And I didn't even see it as Lydia taking offense to Morel's language and all. She was just like bored. She's like, whatever. I do this in my spare time. I got bored with regular Latin. I love Lydia. Although that middle part is problematic, and that's something that just hurts me. But later on, I think, I don't remember the next few young Peter moments, but there's one where she finally goes into the dreamscape of that house, and she has these like waves of the side part, and I lived for it. And so when I get there, I'm gonna squee all over it. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Thank you, Phil. Michael, parting thoughts. What are your thoughts about the episode overall? What was it like kind of rewatching it? Did anything else come back to you?
Well, that was really fun. I like how they ended this one. Mm-hmm. Meaning, like somebody's controlling
yes!
the Kanama. Like, who is it? Good call on the production side. So that's cool. Closing thoughts is like I would have liked to have seen like more development of young Peter's character between now and the next episode. But again, like it's a Russell episode, so there's just so much happening. Otherwise, I noticed I really enjoy a lot of Styles' like awkward, like trying to play it cool reactions, like in the club scene where he's ordering the beer and he's just like bobbing his head to the music and trying to act cool, but it's just like totally awkward. Not a lot of actors can play that off like real without it looking like stupid.
It's
but
kind of
Dylan just like nails that stuff, and he did it a couple times, like when he was convincing his dad, like they were just there to help Danny out. He just like gave him the guns. And, that worked. Love you, Dad. He played that stuff really well. It's really enjoyable to watch.
There was an interview with Kevin Smith where Kevin Smith was like, he has a way of, I always call it the what do I do with my hands theory. When you have those actors, there's some actors that have no idea what to do with their hands when they're in the background of the scene. They're not the main focus. And so they look very kind of stilted and very awkward. And then you have some actors that are like, I'm going to cross them and I'm going to do a thumbs up and I'm going to, wave and just, do all this other stuff where they understand kind of how to fill up the scene without detracting too much attention, because it's a very fine line.
Oh yeah, that's a really great point to bring up, because I realized the next step that I'm actually taking in acting, just a personal venture. They don't teach this stuff in classes, but like the psychology of like communication outside of verbal communication. So like body language. It's something that high quality actors will study. And there are things that you can and cannot do on camera that are or are not distracting. Some directors really just want all of your expression to just be very static, but your expression is in the face, or you're just confined to like a headshot, a tight shot. But if you've got freedom to play with a medium or a wide shot, you can make a performance look way more authentic and natural if you do implement like body language cues, body language communication, and so that involves what you do with your hands. How if you're slumping or standing up straight, like does your body language match up to your words or the essence your character's giving off? And I think that's what distinguishes some really good acting versus just maybe some not so refined acting.
So
anyways, that's just something I thought of lately is like the body language communication to add to verbal communication in a scene.
I definitely wouldn't sell yourself short. The hand-holding scene, was that in this one? Because I noticed it right away. I thought it was very cute. When you were having the conversation with Holling, you're like, oh, what if I wanted to hold your hand right now? And you're like, that wasn't in the script. That kind of thing. Nope. Having that thing of being being able to kind of add that. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, it was really neat. I think that that also comes with learning how feasible it is to have some workability with what you're allowed to do as the actor in the scene. Like Russell didn't have a problem with me adding some things. I think what you don't do is add words. Absolutely don't add words unless you're supposed to improv. But you can kind of add things that aren't specifically scripted, like reaching for Holland's hand in that scene. Not on the script, but it's a body language cue that, visually when you're watching it, it adds a new dynamic to the tension or the romance or whatever you're giving off. Because so much is communicated. In fact, more is communicated with facial expression and body language than it is verbally. And so I think if you can play to that, like when I reached for Holland's hand there, it just felt so authentic and it wasn't scripted. And I was just kind of caution to the wind in that scene. Because
He's like, it's a night shoot.
Last time I was visiting, like, they
Off the
gave me
leash.
conflicting instructions, and I just kind of decided to take that take into my own hands, and that's when I kind of just let the whole thing embody my body and my words. Hence, like, it wasn't scripted to say, like, you stepped back, and I literally moved my shoulder back. Like, little things like that are not scripted, and if you don't do that, directors don't notice that. Their mind is on other things. But it's cool to, like, look back and be like, man, my character looked pretty authentic in that scene, with minimal instruction. It looks more authentic than just standing there and, like, talking lines with the actress. It's like you're in it. It felt so real. That's what I remember about that scene.
Now, through that scene, were you able to only shoot it just with Holland, or did they have to do, like, perspective where they kind of took her out and put a camera in instead?
So no, they didn't shoot perspective in that one, but they definitely did my close up, her close up, and so I didn't have to act directly to camera for that. I did have to do that, I think, in season 4, 405, but this time I didn't have to act directly to camera as if it was Holland's point of view.
That's always so, because even like that last shot with Allison where she's like, he doesn't want a friend, someone's not, helping him, someone's controlling him, and knowing like she's saying that like direct to camera, like it's not a computer screen, it is a camera, and she's just, that's the part of it just freaks me out. I could do a play, I think, all day, every day, but I can't deal with crew and a camera. How do you kind of keep that intimacy knowing that all these people are around you?
You have to give up being scared that people are watching you and judging you. And that comes with a little bit of experience, because my first scene for Teen Wolf, whatever that was, because they don't always shoot in order, like I was really aware that, gosh, there's like audio people, there's video people, there's a script follow. There's like all these like 30 people behind the camera, and we have to act like it's just you and me in this intimate environment. And that just comes with experience, and that's what I definitely got over, I think, in this episode primarily. Like when, so when I come up, when young Peter, Junior, comes up holding Prada, that's when I deliver straight to camera. I remember that.
Yeah.
She was like back set in Video Village, probably chilling, drinking tea. But what's interesting is I could see everybody behind camera. There's 20, 30 people there, but you just kind of, again, it comes with experience in this part of the profession to be able to be intimate and real, knowing a lot of people are watching you and could potentially watch you fail. And that also kind of heightens your instincts to like deliver the performance and make it natural. Gosh, yeah, that's a really good question.
That's hilarious. I just, that would freak me out. I remember, I used to work for IMF, and they had like safety training videos and that kind of thing. And so really it was just like me and like 2 other people. And it was so funny because literally after every take, they'd be like, and kind of like, and scene, down there like, Stacey, you don't have to do that. I'm just like, no, I don't like this. It's uncomfortable. I love anyone that could kind of get in that headspace and still kind of deliver that intimacy, knowing that there are all these people, looking at you like, all right, let's go home. Cut and print. So yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any more questions for young Peter / Michael? Yeah, I really like that scene. It was between you and Holland. It's so easy to go south on a scene like that. It's so very easy for it to be able to be kept above board and still have those little things where, like you said, just embodying kind of what it was. Because, I mean, you could have crossed your arms and delivered the same lines, and yeah, the point gets across, but you don't feel it. You don't really, you're not really into it. Because, especially at that point with Lydia, where she had been so kind of just dogged out by Jackson, he really, really took advantage. And then to have this kind of kid come from nowhere and show this kindness, even though it was like a little on the creepster side, you're like, all right, but you know, he's being nice to her. Yeah, it's like, okay, we'll see where this goes. It was good times.
Okay, so I have a question. When they hand you like a set animal or a set animal actor or whatever, do they just like hand it to you and like, here you go, or there's like some instruction that goes along with how to handle an animal?
Good question. So this time around, no, I met the puppy, the dog, and they did just hand the dog to me, and it's a trained animal, and so it doesn't freak out if someone it does not know holds it. So there really was no deep process of like getting acquainted with the dog. It's been trained to do that, and so it presented no problems whatsoever. So I didn't have to do anything really out of the ordinary. They just handed me the dog, essentially, and the dog was ready to go. That's pretty much that. It was easier than you may think.
I had completely forgotten about you in season 4 and the Teach Me Control, teaching Derek Control. Yeah. We are not doing a rewatch of season 4, but we might have to watch that episode. We are not doing a rewatch of season 4, but we might have to watch that episode. I had completely forgotten, but I was like, oh man, that was messed up. That season was crazy. But, wow.
Which finally got Sticky excited to do a rewatch of The Magicians. And we were trying not to get pushed back any further with any... And we already have a couple other special broadcasts coming along. We're trying not to push it back too far.
Oh, man. We got to get you on The Magicians, Michael. We'll tell them to fly up. We'll get you on there. I love that show. So good.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think we did it. Ethan, final thoughts?
Just to your point earlier, Michael, about facial, like expressions, what to do with your hands and everything like that. One thing that I always love, and we talk about this all the time on the podcast, is heckling. Hecklin's expressions are out of this world. His face, eyebrows alone do all of the acting for him. So, and we love just seeing how his facial expressions carry almost like all of the weight for
the weight. Exactly. I kind of get on. I get on him a lot about the enunciation. He has a very SoCal lazy surfer kind of thing happening. But the boy understands face. I was like, he is literally one of those people where it's like, if it's a silent film, he would just dominate it. He just understands space and how to kind of inhabit it in front of a camera. And I always think that is one of his, like, very great. He wasn't in this episode a lot, but even in what we got, so much is carried, like you said, on the weight of his brow alone and the eyebrows. And it's just like one little thing, you're like, I got you. I'm here. I'm in it. I understand. I like that a lot. I think everybody has a way of kind of carrying their weight in a very specific way. I really like Melissa's her being Scott's mom as compared to Victoria being Allison's mom. I think the differences in their character are so indicative of the way that their kids are and the way that their kids kind of relate to each other and why they relate to each other in the way that they do. I always thought that was a very interesting dynamic. I would have liked to see more of them together, but I think Victoria would have killed Melissa at some point. It would not have gone well. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we have climbed to the mountaintop and kind of covered everything. again, I am going to slip the trailers in at the end of the episode, but we have two announcements. One is our very own Terence, Lennoirauteur, has created a web series called The Vampyr Resistance Corps. It is an amazing series, and he did a really great job with it. Anytime anyone can do anything with video and getting the actors, and he wrote it and really just kind of pieced together a really fun supernatural thing. Check out vrcseries.com or VRC Series on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, all the above. Also, Hunter and Max, they have put together a new audio drama podcast, which I'm obsessed with. It's called New Noise. It will debut Monday, October the 22nd. And the trailer for that will be after this episode as well. So tell a friend. We're going to try to get them both in. Well, we will get them both in for interviews so we can talk about those projects. And we have a lot of stuff coming up this month and next. So definitely stay tuned. And with that, say goodnight, Ethan.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Yay. Say goodnight, Philip.
Good night, everybody. Make sure to go follow All American on the CW on Tumblr. Really appreciate it.
Yay. Say goodnight, Michael.
Good night, everybody. Love you guys.
We are so glad you were able to come out. I hope you had a good time.
I did.
Yay. All right, everybody. Good night, and we will see y'all next time. Oh, wait a minute. Breaking news. Didn't I call it? Evidently, they are making a Superman TV show.
What?
Yep. Which I called, which means bye-bye Supergirl. Wait, let's see. Oh, then she said allegedly.
Don't get excited like that.
Oh, wait, no. It says exclusive from Fandom Wire. WB developing Superman TV series, which definitely means heckling. All right. We'll see what happens. I know. Thought y'all were leaving. No. Okay. We're going. We will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.
And hold on. Let me get these folks off.